Okay, so it's the third week of the main excavation, or the fifth week of the season, depending on which way you look at it. Things are progressing nicely. We've got the plans all finished, and the two teams are now getting the levels read onto each of the plans, which will complete the recording process. That's the end of the first sort of big phase of recording. So it's all photoed, all drawn, all levelled, and then we're ready to start removing rocks. So as you can see, I've been around this morning adding little arrows to all the ones that we no longer need, and as soon as all the levels are done, we can start pulling those off and cleaning down, and hopefully we'll start getting some more clarity about what's happening. You know, we should then see the wall of the roundhouse coming through there beneath Adrian. Fairly confident that'll show up quite easily, and hopefully down in this area, which we still don't really understand, by picking off all these loose rocks, we will start to see, or start to be able to make sense of it. But I think what we're looking at really is this yard surface, just with big stones that have fallen off the roundhouse or fallen off this adjacent building, scattered over the area. So you can see all this small stone coming through here, up there, up right underneath Maddie's feet, into this area. And I think really, maybe apart from this big slab here, most of this stone just doesn't mean anything. Most of it is displaced. So we picked that off, and that should sort of, well, I'm hoping it'll resolve this area. Why we've got a bit of a gully or an indent just in here, I'm not sure. So that might just be an erosion channel, but we'll see. And that really will just leave us this strange corner up here, which we're not actually removing anything from, or we're just taking a couple away at the moment, because I'm really not sure what's what. I think we've got maybe some sort of extension to the medieval building that was over there, that little bit of walling. So we'll deal with the rest of the trench and then worry about that afterwards. That's delaying tactics. Now we've got some new people on site. Say hi, Michael. That's Michael. This is Ariel. Danielle's down there. And that's Lindsay. Lydia! Ah, so close. I was doing really well. Not bad. I've got to change that in the notebook now, because I've just written Lindsay about 5 times. So they're now working in the middle area, which will be theirs for the next 3 or 4 weeks. 3 weeks, hopefully. We've got other things to do. Exposing this building. So we had that all recorded last year. It's all levelled, it's all planned and photographed. So deturfing it, and already, you know, it's quite an impressive effect. We've got a lot more stonework showing up down by Lydia. We've got the edge of this building coming through a bit more clearly now. So this is the first stage. It's getting the top off of all of this and then giving it a good clean, and then after that we're going to empty out all this stone from the inside of this building, and see where that takes us. So things will progress quite fast here, principally because this was all pre-prepared during last season, so we're able to do this phase quite quickly. And you know, this one, by the end of the week, I think we should understand this. That'll be the plan. And then there's going to be a lot of recording. This is going to be difficult to record. So, big hope for the inside of the building. And other than that, it's a nice cool day today. After this fierce summer we've been having so far. Alright, well, we're getting towards this Thursday afternoon on the third week now, on this trench, so week 5 overall. We've completed the first phase of planning and recording on the top end of this trench, and it's time to start clearing off all this debris. I think that's the right word for it now. loads of this stone was just lying around. The bit that they're taking out there is a little bit of crude walling. It's a bit more deliberate, but we've recorded it, we know where it was, and it's masking something more interesting. So it's quite rare for us to take out intact walling, but in this case we're going ahead. I'm not too worried about it. You can maybe now pick up where the outside wall is. That slope along there from the big upright where Adrian is standing behind, just stepped over, coming around there. That's that outside edge of the building. I think a lot of these large stones that were across this area have probably just fallen away from that wall, from the outside edge of that wall. And we're going to clean up now, once they're finished up there, take all this down in the middle, just see what happens, whether we get more of this yard surface, or whether something else different is happening. It looks like there might be a bit of an erosion channel running through there, so we'll see. We're going to start pulling out this entrance, extending it, finding the end of it. That's there. So we've got the channel, it's still full of rubble. We're going to take some of the rubble out of it now and really clean it up. But I think that we can see it extending through here as a grey band of soil. So we'll be pulling that out as well. And that'll be getting us towards being completed for this area of the trench. Obviously a lot of work to go down slope, but this was quite interesting. There's obviously something intact along there. Those big stones are definitely in situ. Whether this slab here is still in place and has just leaned over a bit, or whether it is somehow just a displaced stone, we don't know yet. It's a pretty big stone. This one at the moment we're going to leave in just because it's a bit too big to carry out of there. If we really have to get it out, we will, but hopefully that one can just stay. And so we've started on this middle section with the group 2 people. This is the intact wall of the building that still had the roof. You can see coming through now, a couple of courses of it up to there, but maybe it's stopping at that quartz boulder or something. These stones, which we know, we're always suspicious of, these are sitting right up on a big pedestal of soil, so they can't be in situ. They might be some sort of later modification. That's always possible up here. But we're getting to that point where we've cleared up a lot of the issues around the top end of the building. So out here again, there's just big spreads of these big displaced stones, so they're just getting cleaned up. We've got something interesting happening here, which is a really dense area of small stones, and it seems to expand or extend over this way. Not sure what that is, whether it's just directly connected into that yard surface that's up there, or there was something else going on. There is maybe hints of it up and around these stones. You can see that at the bottom there. So we'll see what all that turns into over time. It's going to take a little while to get through all this. And then downslope, so far all we're really seeing is the collapse from this building. All of this material just looks like where the building fell apart quite catastrophically. Those uprights there may still be part of the Danish ditch coming in, but it's not looking massively like the rest of the field wall at this stage. It's just too disorganised. But again, there could be post-collapse interference to the site, so we'll not rule it out yet. So that's us at the moment. Day and a half to go this week. We will really be in condition to start photographing tomorrow, start replanning this area next week, and these guys down here will be ready to start planning as well. So that will take up most of next week, I'd imagine. And then certainly for up here we should be onto the final phase of the excavation. So really good, we're kind of on schedule, and we'll see what happens.